The heart of a wandering traveler. There was a man who traveled to and fro throughout the world seeking for the finest of treasure. When he began the journey, he found himself in a state of fear, without worldly wealth, and no understanding to where he would end up. He took with him one pair of shoes, one set of clothing, and a small basket for good measure. With his pipe in his hand and a large hat upon his head, he went off into the great unknown, unknowing of what treasures he might find, leaping to his feet with joy and excitement day after day, morning after morning, night after night. He traveled around like a man with a great mission. One day, while walking next to the ocean, a fish came up bubbling from the depths of deep waters, and inside its mouth was a 1-ounce coin made of pure gold. Very shiny indeed, he thought to himself, but what can I do with it? I can neither eat it nor wear it, and today I feel a bit cold. So the traveler took the coin and gave it away to a couple who looked very old. They put it into the pantry where it could release the hunger pains of abuse. The man traveled through the wilderness where wild bees gathered together like birds of the same feather. 6 pieces of silver he did find, yet they too were very nice and shiny. But again he thought to himself, I can look at these pieces forever. They are nice to see, but I cannot eat them, and the clothes are starting to wear on me. So he gave them to a young boy who had no time for joy. Over hills and through valleys he did travel, walking daily through vast fields of lilies, dressed like the finest of flowers. To the eye they sparkled, yet to the nose they were found to be less desirable. Roses sat on the tops of hills. Red was the favorite color seen. Yet still, it was just a flower growing through the rocks. Onward, he thought to himself. There must be a greater treasure than these. Food they are not, and my shoes are worn out, and they are about to rot. With great joy he set off on this journey, but when his shoes fell to the floor, his smile began to fade, and his walk became like a slow limp. With a heavy heart he continued on, until one day he heard a new song. Look to the east, for I have seen a girl. She has wisdom like I have never heard of, said the whisper of a gentle wind. So the traveler turned and went east to a place unknown. With a long beard and clothes worn, he walked slowly as a small worm. Weathered and worn out, he came to the woman who had wisdom like he had never seen. Wrapped in love with kind words, was the place where she began to sing. The Queen of Tenji was her name, dressed as fine as the lilies, and sat on the top of her throne with the fragrance of the roses which grew from the rocks of the mountaintops. Her beauty was greater than silver and gold. Her love was the finest treasure he had ever known. She poured it out on him like fine oil. Over his head, it flowed down through his beard, onto his chin, over his chest, and down to the feet. The oil covered him. From the beginning, he knew not what he would find. But when he found it, he sold everything in mind, bought that treasure through the spirit of what he knew to be kind. He held out his hand and gave it to her, and she took it and led him to her front door. Safety you will find. Love is unconditional, and your trust is now mine. Love without fear is the greatest gift of all. The world may shake and the stars may fall, but my love for Kato Tenji is the greatest treasure of all. I love you. I love you. Listen to me, you who pursue righteousness, you who seek the Lord. Look to the rock from which you were hewn, and to the quarry from which you were dug. Look to Abraham your father, and to Sarah who bore you. For he was but one when I called him, that I might bless him and multiply him. For the Lord comforts Zion. He comforts all her waste places and makes her wilderness like Eden, her deserts like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found in her, thanksgiving and the voice of a song. Give attention to me, my people, and give to me your ear, my nation. For a law will go out from me, and I will set my justice for a light to the people. My righteousness draws near. My salvation has gone out, and my arms will judge the peoples. The coastlands hope for me, and for my arm they wait. Lift up your eyes to heaven, and look at the earth beneath. For the heavens vanish like smoke, and the earth will wear out like a garment, and they who dwell in it will die in like manner. But my salvation is forever, and my righteousness will never be dismayed. Listen to me, you who know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear not the reproach of man, nor be dismayed at their revilings. For the moth will eat them up like a garment, and the worm will eat them like wool. But my righteousness will be forever, and my salvation to all generations. Awake, awake! Put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake, as in the days of old, the generations of long ago. Was it not you who cut Rahab in pieces, who pierced the dragon? Was it not you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, who made the depths of the sea a way for the redeemed to pass over? And the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with singing. Everlasting joy shall be upon their heads. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. I am he who comforts you. Who are you that you are afraid of man who dies, of son of man who is made like grass, and have forgotten the Lord your Maker, who stretched out the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and you continually fear all the day because of the wrath of your oppressor when he sets himself to destroy. And where is the wrath of your oppressor? He who is bowed down shall speedily be released, and he shall not die and go down to the pit, neither shall his bread be lacking. I am the Lord your God, who stirs up the seas so that its waves roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. I have put my words in your mouth and covered you in the shadow of my hand, establishing the heavens and laying the foundations of the earth, and saying to Zion, you are my people. How beautiful upon the mountaintops are the feet of him who brings good news, who publishes peace, who brings good news of happiness, who publishes salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. The voice of your watchmen, they lift up their voices. Together they sing for joy. For eye to eye they shall see the return of the Lord to Zion. Break forth together into singing, you waste places of Jerusalem. For the Lord has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord has bared his holy arm, and before the eyes of all nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our God. Depart, depart, go out from here. Touch no unclean, and go out from the midst of her. Purify yourselves, you who bear the vessels of the Lord. For you shall not go in haste, and you shall not go out in flight. For the Lord will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your rear guard. For your Maker is your husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. The Holy One of Israel is your Redeemer. The God of the whole earth, he is called. For the Lord has called you like a wife, deserted and grieved in spirit, like a wife of youth when she is cast off, says your God. For a brief moment I deserted you, but with great passion I gathered you. In overflowing anger for a moment I hid my face from you, but with everlasting love I will have compassion on you, says the Lord, your Redeemer. This is like the days of Noah to me. I swore that the waters of Noah should no more go forth over the earth. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with you, and I will not rebuke you. For the mountains may depart, and the hills be removed, but my steadfast love shall not depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. I love you. You are safe. You're loved. You're cared for. I love you. Warriors of the Lord, I have seen you gather like a great army ready for battle, dressed with the glory of your armor. Yet don't forget, I see the glory of your armor shining bright. I see your pride, because the whole damn world is staring at you and they can't see me. I want them to know me, says the Lord of heaven and earth. Don't think you are better than me. Rise up and see the glory in me. I want you to be in my army. Yet you look like the enemy. I want the world to see me. Why can't the world see me? Because through your own pride, all they can see is you. When will you learn that God's plan belongs to the Lord? Rise up and be a part of the Lord's army. For this is the word of the Lord. Rise, that you may see. I am the Lord who breathes life into thee. This says the Lord of heaven and earth. Ask for my heart, and I'll let you feel it beat. Ask for my kingdom, and I will give you the gate. Ask for my face, and I will shine it on you. Ask for my peace, and it will be given just as you knew. Ask and believe, Nothing is unknown, no matter how small or great. I want the world to see me, not you and your great fall. Lead them to the rock where the waters flow free. Lead them to the pastures where fields are always green. Lead them to me, says the Lord who has blessed you. Look to the left and to the right and see all the great men who have gathered with me. Inspired by Jesus, the Christ of all men. Amen.